right, Penn Nation, please welcome back to the show our brash and outspoken friend, the great American winning machine himself, Colby Chaos Covington. Pleasure as always to have you back on the show, Colby. What's the good word at American Top Team today, man?
Oh, not much. Just living the American dream, man. Working hard every day. That's the values we believe in at American Top Team. So thanks for having America's champion back on the show.
As always, my friend. Listen, there's much to discuss, but before we jump into it, I wanted to ask you about your visit with the troops. I know this isn't the first time you've done something like that, but it was the first time you visited American servicemen and women as a champion. How was that experience?
Oh man, the experience was so humbling and rewarding. I've done this a lot in the past, and I made promises in the past. I said, hey, I told all the troops in an installation, thousands of troops, we watched the fights together in the past, and I said, hey, I'm going to win the UFC title. I'm going to get that gold belt, and I'm going to bring it back. And they were all fired up and excited. So, I got the world title in the UFC, and I had to make my promise. So I went back to the troops. I brought back the belt, and just to see the look on their faces, man, they loved it. They really, that motivated them. They all were telling me, man, this is giving me great motivation, and then, just to be able to go and work hard every day, believe in your dreams, and never give up on your dreams. So it was a really humbling experience, just going to visit each and every soldier and really just taking good time with them and getting to do their routine, waking up in the morning, doing a ruck march. One day I got to put the 70-pound backpack on my back and got to do a ruck march and run a couple miles with those guys, and I even put the belt on it, and they're all fired up. So it was a great day. It was a great weekend, man. I spent 3 full days with them, just going through routine, and I'm just thankful for the opportunity.
Well, it's awesome that you give back, and I always commend you for that, but it sounds to me like you got a lot more involved this time. You went out and actually trained with them, doing the stuff that they would be doing to prepare themselves for combat.
Yeah, absolutely. I wasn't just going to go there and sit on my butt the whole time and just show them the belt. I wanted to show them, that I'm willing to do whatever they're willing to do. I'm willing to work hard just like them. I'm willing to train with them, and it gave me more inspiration. I was drawing a lot of inspiration out of them. I mean, I have great cardio. Those guys freaking have out of this world cardio. I mean, they're waking up every morning at 5 a.m. and running these 7-mile runs, and then going and cleaning out barracks, and then cleaning airplanes, and just the vigorous schedule they go through. I wanted to put myself in their shoes for a couple of days and see what they have to, and I have nothing but respect, man. Those guys, they put it all on the line. They put their lives on the line every day, and that's why I'm so honored to represent the USA and represent all the military servicemen, because those are the people who give me my freedoms and opportunity to go make a living like I do. So big thank you to all the servicemen and women out there.
Absolutely, absolutely. I agree with you 100%, man. Although I can imagine that you waking up at 5 a.m., you must have not liked that too much.
Yeah, it was tough. What's funny about that is they sat me down after one of the runs. They're like, okay, well, Colby, let's hear a day in a life. And I'm talking to like 1,000 different of these troops in this certain oh, sorry, I'm taking. I was talking to them in their certain brigade, in their group, and they're all like, oh, Colby, what's your schedule like? What's your normal day look like? And I was like, oh, I don't wake up normally till about noon. And then they all started laughing at me because, that's a regular day for me. I wake up at noon, get my day started, and that's a boss schedule, I try to tell them. But, I was willing to sacrifice and wake up early for them, it was easy to get up early for them, to get up that early, because just to see what they put on the line and sacrifice every single day for our freedoms. Right. It's an unbelievable feeling. You can't get the feeling unless you really go out there and do it. There's no justice for me telling you how good of a feeling it is. I mean, you have to go experience it to really feel the effects of it.
Right, and for all the sacrifice they make for us on a daily basis, waking up 5 a.m. once or twice, totally doable for the champ.
Absolutely, more than doable, man. It was my honor to do that. So, I wanted to show my gratitude and appreciation to them and put myself in their shoes for a couple of days, and I thought they really respected that, and it was just an overall great visit. I'm gonna make a habit of doing that after every one of my fights. I want to go to a different station. The next one I got on my agenda, I want to go to Fort Bragg in North Carolina. So I've had some talks with them, and that's what's going to be next is Fort Bragg. But big thank you to Fort Eustis Langley. It's a joint base. It's an Army base and an Air Force base. It's over in Virginia. So big thank you to those guys for having me and showing me around their installation and just let me hang out with all the different troops. It was just unbelievable life-changing experience for me.
Yeah, no, like I said, man, it's awesome that you give back in that regard, and I can't commend you enough. I wish more fighters would do just the same. But, you know, being the patriotic American that you are, you must be pretty excited about the possibility of Trump Jr. coming to your next fight. Seems like you and Trump Jr. are becoming pretty good buddies.
Yeah, me and Trump Jr. got a good relationship. You know, he reached out after my fight, telling me congratulations. You know, he appreciated the support of him and his father, and you know, we've kept in touch. You know, he reached out to me on Twitter. He sent me a message saying that, you know, if I fight in MSG at New York, he would love to come down the road and support me with the Trump family. So we keep in good touch, man. I got a lot of respect for the Trump family and what they're doing for America and our economy and just everything. They're fighting for our country, and they put our country first. The Trump family really does love this country with all their heart, and they put the country first before themselves. So big love to the Trump family, and hopefully I can come to New York and put on a show for them.
Absolutely, man. So speaking of your next fight, you've clearly stated that you want to be on this MSG card, and it sounds like we just have to wait for Woodley to agree at this point. Considering the news about Tyron injuring his hand, do you truly believe that November 3rd is going to work out, or we may be looking at December at this point?
You know, it's a possibility. You know, Tyron, that's fake news about his hand being hurt. We all know that, because right after the fight, he was saying, hey, I'm ready to fight in November. I'll fight Colby at MSG, and he said he was ready to go. But, you know, I think it's more that the UFC, they don't want to give him that spot. They don't want to reward him that main event because they hate him. He doesn't know how to sell fights. He doesn't know how to promote fights. And he just complains, man. He's been given everything. He's been silver spoon fed. You know, he's been paid millions to piggyback off of Conor and Jon Jones. And he just consistently shoots himself in the foot every time he opens his mouth. So, you know, I don't know if it's going to happen, but, you know, I would love for it. That's where I want it to be, at the most iconic arena, MSG. You know, the same place that Hulkamania started at the Garden in '84. So I want to come there and make welterweight great again in the Garden in November.
Now, you had told me last time we spoke that you would be rooting for Woodley in a very rare circumstance. I know that you're probably at least happy that he won the fight, but what did you think of Woodley's performance, and what was your reaction to him receiving his black belt?
You know, it wasn't anything special. You know, he stepped up his game. He should be giving me credit for his performances, because he's had to step up his game, because he knows I'm breathing down his neck now. He knows what's coming. So now he's working harder, and so he should be giving me credit. It wasn't that impressive of a fight. The Tillsbury Doughboy, he's overhyped. He should have never even been in that title fight. He's missed weight 3 times in the UFC. He got a gift decision in his hometown against Choir Boy. He beat an over the hill clown boy from Greg Jackson. So the guy's a joke. He should have never been in the title fight in the first place. He was overhyped. You know, the UFC put the hype and marketing machine behind him. So it was a complete joke. He landed a hot 0 significant strikes in a title fight. Good job, buddy. You neglected your family. You left your kid in Brazil. You didn't take any responsibility for your family, and you landed zero strikes. So I think that showed that guy's not championship worthy. He's in the JV level, and he should have never been fighting for a title.
Yeah, I mean, he wasn't able to get any offense going, and a lot of people are agreeing with just what you're saying, that it looked like he had no business in there at all.
No business. He's not ready for that. He's too young. He's not experienced, not mature. Maybe someday, maybe 5, 6, 7, 8 years, maybe it changes, but he's not on this level, man. There's levels to this, and that's why I tried to tell the UFC in the first place, don't make that Till fight. Just wait a month for me. I can fight Woodley in a month, but they didn't want to wait a month. Woodley didn't want to wait a month. That's what it was. He doesn't want to fight me, man. He's ducking me at every opportunity. He had the perfect opportunity, Jason, to set up this mega fight, to promote it, to fucking shoot the crazy promo on me that's going to put more money in his bank account. And he said, I'll fight whoever. You know, he blew the opportunity. So it's pretty sad. You know, he won his #1 contender fight over the weekend. He had an opportunity to fight for a big fight and fight for the title against me, but, you know, he blew that to make it bigger. So, you know, the guy, just like Dana says, he consistently shoots himself in the foot, and he did that again over the weekend. It's pretty sad. Tyron's a sad individual.
Yeah, you know, the promotional thing was something I wanted to get to here in a moment, but you mentioned Dana. What did you make of Dana's expression when he put the belt on Woodley, and Dana skipping the press conference for that matter?
Oh, I didn't know he skipped the press conference. That's hilarious. I mean, who wants to listen to Tyron Woodley talk, man? Let's be honest. The guy, every time he opens his mouth, he shoots himself in the foot. He just won a #1 contender fight. He's there to promote his next fight, and he's fucking promoting his rap album. That's what he says after he wins his fight, his biggest UFC fight, and he's promoting his rap album. Jason, where's that going to debut in the charts? Let's be honest. Where's his rap album going to debut in the charts? It's going to be one of the worst songs of all time. So it was pretty pathetic. You know, he gives a shout out to Wiz Khalifa which, by the way, he invited Wiz Khalifa to his fight, but Wiz Khalifa doesn't give a fuck about Tyron Woodley, so obviously he wasn't in attendance. So, but that's the story of Woodley's career. He just goes and takes pictures with all the A-list celebrities like Wiz Khalifa and all these guys in Hollywood. They don't give a fuck about him. They don't even know who he is or care for him. So, just it goes back to the sad individual, man. He's pathetic, man.
Yeah, I mean, you made the great point earlier this week, and you continue to make it now that, Woodley not using that opportunity to cut a promo on you and get the ball rolling. Do you think it's a lack of respect thing for you, or do you think he might possibly look for a different matchup next?
I mean, of course he's looking for a different matchup. He knows my style is terrible for the way he fights. Pressure fighters, he's never done good against. Nate Marquardt, Jake Shields, and even Rory McDonald. And those were 3-round fights. So, he doesn't want to fight me, man. He's never wanted to fight me from the start. He's been ducking me since last November. We were supposed to fight last December, but he said, no, I'm not fighting Colby. I'll fight Nate Diaz. I'll fight GSP, but I'm not fighting Colby. So, it's just a lack of he doesn't want to fight me, And another thing it is he's scared to say my name. Literally, he goes on these shows with Ariel Helwani, with Joe Rogan. And before he starts the show, he says, hey, we're not going to talk about Colby. Don't even bring up Colby's name. There's no mention of Colby. If you bring up Colby's name, I'm not doing this show. So he threatens these reporters to not ever bring up my name because he doesn't want to give me attention. He doesn't want me to have spotlight. So he's just pathetic. He's just shooting himself in the foot like Dana always says, and the guy is just pathetic. I mean, step your game up, man. Like, this is your money fight. This is everything you've ever wanted. You wanted a big money fight. Here's the money fight right in front of you, and you can't even fucking ask for it. You can't even say it and acknowledge it because he knows I'm going to end everything he worked for his whole life, his little Hollywood bullshit, his little shit where he talks about the Kardashians and swimsuits. That's all coming to an end after he fights me, Jason.
Now, listen, is that speculation or rumors you heard, or have you heard something factual that he specifically says do not bring up Colby before he does press?
No, that's 100% factual. Go ask Ariel Helwani. Go ask Joe Rogan. 100%. Every time before he's went on their shows with Joe, on the Joe Rogan Experience, he said, hey, we're not going to talk about Colby. Don't bring up Colby. That's why when Joe was in the octagon on Saturday, he didn't want to say my name. Like, he was like, okay, well, what do you want? Who do you want to fight next? And he didn't want to bring up my name. He brought up like Whitaker and someone else because Woodley has went to him specifically and said, hey, Joe, you're not going to bring up Colby. Don't talk about Colby because I'm not going to acknowledge it. And if you talk about it, I'm not going to ever talk to you again and give you stories. So Joe's like, okay, I don't want to, piss off Tyron. I'm going to give Tyron his moment. But, at the same time, he's waiting there. He's giving him the line to build this fight and make it bigger. And he doesn't want to do it, man. He just wants to shoot himself in the foot. So, the guy is just literally amateur in JV, and he's just a joke, man. That's why no one wants to watch him fight. No one cares to watch him fight. No one's emotionally invested in any of his fights like they are with me. So, everybody knows who the A side is. I'm on the A side. He's on the B side.
Now, you mentioned rappers, Woodley's rap album. I know you responded to Snoop Dogg already for the nonsense of him confusing Till for You, but this isn't the first time he's pissed off UFC athletes. Matt Brown told me a few months ago that if he ever saw Snoop, he'd punch him in the face. Can the same be said for Colby Covington?
No, I'm a bitch slap him in the face. I'm not going to punch him because then he's going to go cry, and if I punch him, I'm going to break that little weak, malnourished twig's orbital bone. So, I'm not going to punch him. He's brittle. He's soft. It's pretty funny. I put a comment on his Instagram. I said, hey, you're a little malnourished twig. You look like you got Tourette's. And he deletes the comment. How funny is that? This little gangster rapper, he's living in his little safe space, and he can't take a little comment. But, yeah, he wants to dish out all this shit. So, I think it's just hilarious. He's a little fake little bitch.
I got a kick out of the California soy boy thing. That was pretty funny.
Hey, it's true, man. He's on that California soy diet.
Now, plenty of people were critical of this matchup. Nick Diaz specifically released a video on how terrible the matchup was and how the UFC needs to make better fights. Would you agree with Nick?
Yeah. I mean, I don't agree with Nick ever, but I mean, I think he definitely hit the head on the coffin right there. I agree with that. They can make bigger fights, but the UFC is going to do what they're going to do. They got their own business model. They're doing their own thing. So, I respect what they're doing. They want to put fights together, and at the same time, they didn't have a fight to put together for there. They needed a main event, and they didn't have a main event. So, Woodley was the only guy with that they could put it as a main event for that pay-per-view. So,
right.
It made sense that they kind of had to do that to fill their gap for what they messed up with their matchmaking and not planning their schedule accordingly.
Now, I know you've taken aim at the Diaz brothers lately. You said to me personally a few weeks ago that they know who runs the West Coast. Is a fight with Nick still on your radar, and are you solely focused on Woodley at this point?
I mean, I'm over it at this point. I know Nick Diaz doesn't want to fight me. You know, if he wants to fight, dude, I'll put in the contract right now. We could do a boxing match. We could do Zuffa boxing. You want to set up a boxing match? We could do a boxing match. I'll mark that dude's face up, dude. He'll never fight again. I'll do no takedowns. I don't need to take down that little bum. He's past his time. He's over the hill. He's a joke. So that's easy money for me, man. I don't even need a training camp. He can tell me when he wants to fight, train for his whole life, do whatever, and tell me a week before the fight, and I'll show up. No takedowns. Just stand up, and I'll mark that little bitch's face up. So, you know, it's a fight that interests me. You know, he talks a lot of shit. He's put up some videos kind of talking shit about me, but, you know, he's just doing talking, man. He ain't walking the walk like I do, so.
Yeah, I feel like everybody's kind of just waiting in the wings for if he's really going to come back or not. Do you think he will make a return to fighting?
To be honest, no, I don't believe he will. I think he's just using this as a platform to get attention. He wants to stay in the media. He wants to keep his name hot. You know, maybe he gets some sponsorship deals with some weed companies, but he's not going to fight, man. He's been saying the same shit for the last couple of years. You know, he's already cashed out. He made his money, and he doesn't want to fight anymore. He's not a true fighter. So he's in the clubs every weekend, man. The dude's doing cocaine. He's fucking hookers. He's doing all that shit. He's not here to fight. He's not here to make the UFC great again like I am.
Now, getting back to Woodley here, you made it very clear that you have not yet been stripped of the title and that Woodley now has to fight you for the undisputed championship. But at the end of the day, man, whether the title is stripped or not, as long as you're fighting Woodley for that belt, does it really matter to you?
Yeah, I mean, he earned his #1 contendership to fight me for the real belt. I got the real belt, man. He sat out for 13 months. How many fights has Woodley fought in the last year? He's fought 1 fight in the last 14 months. I fought 3 fights against 3 of the best killers in the division, you know. Dong Hum Kim, you know, the best fighter to ever come out of Asia, you know. Damian Maia, one of the best fighters to ever come out of Brazil. RDA, a former champion who you know is one of the best fighters from Brazil. So, you know, my schedule's, you know, I've been staying active and busy. Woodley's been fucking doing his little bullshit in Hollywood, trying to make rap albums that are gonna fail, and doing his little B-list movie roles where he's a side stunt actor. So, you know, he's got the fake belt, man. I got the real belt. He needs to come see me in that octagon. I only want to fight Woodley. I want to rip his face open. This is a real beef, dude. This isn't no manufactured beef like some of the other fights. This is real fucking beef. We got bad blood, and this needs to be settled soon. This is unfinished business.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Now, not trying to get too deep here on you. I know that people still really can't wrap their head around your angle with promotion, and unfortunately people mark out all the time like you were saying earlier this week, but Helwani brought up something that I think is becoming a real concern for a lot of people right now, and that's the possibility of this thing becoming about race. You know, this country is on edge right now when it comes to those kind of things, and, you know, considering that Woodley's brought up race quite a bit, are you at all worried that the lead up to this fight could take a turn for the worst?
Jason, controversy creates cash, so whatever it needs to take, I don't really care, man. It's, you know, people, I'm not racist. People can assume whatever they want to say. The people say Donald Trump's racist. He's not racist, you know. So whatever, if it takes a turn for the worst, whatever, controversy creates cash.
Yeah, that's true, man. And at the end of the day, it's all about the dollar bills. You're prize fighting here, so.
Exactly.
Now, a lot of people scoffed at the idea that the fight between you and Woodley could be bigger than Conor and Khabib. You talked about the history between you guys, the juicy storyline that there is for promoting this fight. Realistically, how big do you think the fight could be, and what kind of numbers do you think it'll pull? I'm hearing rumors that Woodley versus Till did terrible on pay-per-view sales.
Yeah, I can't imagine Woodley and Till did over 100,000 buys. I mean, both guys don't know how to promote or sell a fight, and that's the difference. I know how to promote and sell a fight. So, you know, the thing with Woodley is I built this fight from the beginning, Jason. This fight's been hot served, ready to go for the last year. I built this fight. I know how to promote and sell fights, so I'm going to sell this fight. Woodley, you know, the thing is I'm going to put Woodley on my back. I'm going to carry him. I'm going to do all the promotion, all the selling of the fight. I'm going to carry it to the Garden, and then I'm going to bury him at half court.
What a quote you got there, man. Now, speaking of promotion and Conor McGregor, what was your reaction to hearing that he wouldn't be doing media in the lead up to UFC 229? Could you ever see yourself negotiating similar terms for a fight?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I completely understand where he's coming from. You know, he's over in Ireland, so to come from Ireland to come do promotion in America, that's a little tough. You know, it takes out of your training schedule. You want to be training and working hard and preparing for your style matchup. So I get where he's coming from. You know, it gets a little tough when you're cutting weight to travel all over the place when you want to focus on really getting yourself ready to peak for your fight. So, you know, but the thing is, you know, he's gotten a little soft over the years. You know, he's doing his little cocaine. He's partying a lot with his hookers. So, you know, he's getting a little soft. He's a coked up little leprechaun who's getting a little soft. So, you know, I completely understand why he doesn't want to do promotion.
Now, for you, I mean, I get it with that, with the situation with him and Khabib. There's obviously a ton of stuff that can be cut, sound bites, video, all of that. But is it kind of the same thing with you and Woodley? I mean, everything that's already been said between you guys and the story behind this fight, could you step back right now, and do you think there'd be enough promotion to really sell the bout?
What do you think?
Personally, I'd say, yeah, man, I think there's enough sound bites out there, especially on your end.
Yeah, I think that question's kind of self-explanatory. I think there's nothing more that I need to say. I've been talking about Woodley for the last 2 years. I've been begging to fight him. You know, we trained together 5 or 6 years ago at American Top Team. He brought me out to St. Louis to get ready for Rory McDonald a couple years ago, give him that pressure fighting style, and he trained with me 2 times, and I just beat his ass so bad that he didn't want to train anymore. So I think there's more than enough material for them to promote. You know, they can do the red side versus blue side promotion aspect. I mean, there's so many different angles to run with it. 2 former American top team teammates, you know, 2 guys that managed by Dan Lambert. You know, there's so many ways to go with it. You know, there's really not much I need to say. We just need to get in the octagon and let me show the world how much of a joke he really is.
Right. I mean, this really is a no-brainer fight as far as marketing, promotion, and putting together a big money fight, like you're saying.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, it's been built. You know, the hooks are in. You know, the world needs to know the way that this needs to be marketed. You know, he's a soft ass little liberal snowflake. I'm a fucking badass motherfucking Republican. So, you know, he's like Hillary Clinton in a way. He's crooked. So that's why we call him Two-Faced Tyrone. You can't trust anything he says. So, you know, I'm like more like Trump. You know, I'm grabbing all these pussies and I'm putting them in their place.
Now, you remember a long time ago when I first started doing interviews with you, you told me that you had dirt on Tyron in regards to some skeletons in his closet. Is that something that might come out in the promotion of this fight, the lead up to this fight?
Yeah, definitely. There's some things. I got some ace of spades in my back pocket. So if that dude, if he slips up with anything, you know, I got real dirt on him. You know, I know some real shit, some real storylines that would ruin his career and ruin his life, really. So, you know, they might come out of this fight. You know, we'll have to see. You know, the thing about me is I'm chaos and I'm unpredictable. So you just never know what I'm going to do or what I'm going to say. I got everybody on the edge of their seat.
All right, listen, changing gears here for a moment before we wrap this up. Now with the speculation that Jon Jones might be returning at UFC 230, I know you talked about this a little bit earlier this week, but I'm wondering if you guys were to be on the same card, how would that go? What would take place if you guys crossed paths?
I'd fucking double leg that little fucking twig and put him on his head, dude. His legs are like maybe 5 or 10 pounds. He's got little skinny stick figure legs, so he knows what's up. We used to wrestle back in the day at Iowa Central when we were roommates, so if we came in path, dude, I'll put him on his head, bro. He ain't shit to me. Without the juice, he ain't nothing. He was Superman on the juice, but without the juice, it's a whole nother level, whole nother game. So he knows he can't keep up with my pace. He knows that deep down inside.
Okay. All right, man, and regardless of the situation, whatever happens here, are you going to train and prepare like the fight is going down on November 3rd at MSG?
See, that's the thing is that's how I always train and prepare. You know, I train every day like I have a fight the next weekend, so I'm consistently improving and involved in it, and that's why you've seen me get better every single fight. Go look back at every one of my fights. I consistently get better. I consistently raise the bar, and I'm just getting started, man. I'm young, man. I'm just beginning my career. This journey has just begun. It just started now. Now that the stakes are raised, it's just getting started. So I will become the biggest name in the UFC, and I will be the face of the UFC very soon.
Yeah, I have no doubt it is just getting started, man. It's been awesome to be along for the ride so far, and I look forward to the rest of it. In conclusion, my friend, what message would you have for Woodley in hopes that he takes this fight for November 3rd, and what would you say to all the fans out there supporting you?
Woodley, you know, you're a bitch. That's all I got to say. Your rap albums suck. You can't act. You're a B-list movie role actor. You're a stuntman. You don't even get paid to be an actor. You're a stuntman. You suck at fighting. You're boring. You complain. I mean, the list goes on and on. Just sign the dotted line already. Stop trying to say, oh, I'll fight whoever. No one's really established himself. You know who the money fight is. You know who the real king of this division. That's me. So you can stop hiding. And when we get locked in that octagon, you will be leaving the octagon in a stretcher.
And to all the fans out there that support you?
All the fans that support me, the thing about my fans that support me is they know I love them. I don't have to tell my fans that I love them. They know I love them because I give them those nuggets, those good juicy nuggets, where I'm talking shit on Bisping, or I'm roasting Snoop Dogg, or I'm just, I'm roasting all these snowflakes, and that's why my fans appreciate me, because I don't have to tell them I love them and respect them every day. They know that I respect them. That's why I'm making the UFC great again, and I'm making it exciting again. That's what it's all about. You got to bring the fun back to the sport, because it's been lost. Everybody wants to deliver violence, and everybody can deliver violence, but you can't create drama, and that's what I'm doing.
That is for damn sure, man. You're a marketing whiz, in my opinion. All right, as always, Colby, I greatly appreciate your time. I know we'll catch up again soon. The floor is yours, my friend. Any shout-outs or sponsor plugs before we let you go?
Just big thank you to the troops, all the men and women in the service. I can't thank you enough. I fight hard for you every day. I'm going to continue to defend my belt and keep bringing it back for you guys in America. I'm America's champion. I'm the people's champion. And just big thank you to Donald Trump. Everything he's doing for our economy in America. He's created more jobs. He's created more money for the economy. So big thank you to Donald Trump and all the troops. God bless America.
God bless America. All right, Colby. Thanks again, brother. You have a wonderful evening, my friend.
Thanks, Jason. Have a good one.
Later, bud.